I've got some info for you today from the spiritual realm. All four realms interplay with one another: spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. But I think this one is spiritual, and of course, with a funny story at the end about a physical manifestation. So, I was challenged recently by my amazing counselor to try some mirror work. And I had heard about this before. I had worked with it. I think in some ways it's similar to shadow work. So it's taking aspects of other people that you find challenging and actually understanding that it's in you as well. And not that it gives permission for bad behavior of others, not that we're going to give up our sovereignty and our boundaries on what's right for us. It's more about helping us in our heart and in our heads deal with emotions. So I did this mirror work for about 7 days, and I did it regularly. Even when I was tired, I'm like, I can't let a day go by without doing this because I could feel its positive effect. So what I would do is, and I encourage anyone else to try this too, is to write down on a piece of paper or a journal. You can shred it and burn it later. You don't have to keep it. Write down the title, my negative buttons are pushed when, and then write 4 people's names down and what they do that bugs you. Then write down, my positive buttons are pushed with these people, and write down 4 people and what they did that just makes you feel good. And then about the negative button pushing, write down, I forgive myself for, and then you're going to go to the 4 points of the people that pushed your buttons, and you're going to write down for when I do what they did. And it's really hard work, but if you just pause in the moment and breathe and go, do I ever do that? Yeah, at first you might be, no, there's no way I would do that to someone else. It bothers me when people do that. But if you just sit with it a bit, you might come up with an example that's fairly similar that you do to somebody else. Of course, the positive part's nicer because you can say, then you write, I celebrate myself and I see myself for doing this. And then you echo the points of the people that did something positive or do something positive for you in how they behave. What winds up happening is it just softens your energy around expecting something from others. It softens your energy around not putting your energy into someone else. They don't even know you're doing it, thinking about them, stewing over it. It really gives you freedom. It is the hardest work, but it gives you freedom. Now, I have the funniest story about manifesting while doing this mirror work. So I had done this for about 7 days. I've stopped doing it partially because of what manifested. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So I did this mirror work that I just described for about 7 days. And on the 7th day, it was in the evening, and I remember I was at my desk in the living room, and I remember hearing this like really weird noise. A noise I've never heard before. And I remember saying to my son, what was that noise? Are you having trouble getting out of your room? It sounded like something was breaking through like a doorway, but I didn't recognize what it was. And he's like, I heard it too, but I don't know what it was. And we walked over, and a mirror, I kid you not, a mirror in the hallway. I like to say the mirror broke. The mirror itself didn't break. The frame around the mirror broke and let go and started to have the mirror slip out of the framework. So the frame is on an angle and the mirror like slowly sliding down the wall in the hall. And I'm like, what are the chances of that? I'm doing some heavy duty mirror work, and I like to say I blew my mirror up. But it's really, really interesting because this is about manifestation. This is it. Manifestation is about energy that's in us, energy that's around us, and it can be and is a cause and effect. It can produce something physical in your environment to communicate to you. And so what did that communicate to me? It actually took me, I was a little afraid of it at first, or just in awe of the power of the knowledge that I was doing mirror work, and then my mirror, let's say, blew up. So I messaged my counselor and I'm like, take a look at this. What do you make of this? And my interpretation of her message was, and I say that meaning everything's a feeling for me, was maybe just pause the mirror work for a bit. Maybe the mirror work has done what you've needed it to do. And I loved that. I actually loved that feeling that I had accomplished something, even though my mirror was now in a trailer ready for the dump. And then I showed somebody on the weekend. We got talking about manifesting or energy. I love to talk about it. And I found somebody new that I had met that wanted to talk about this. So I said, take a look at this. And I told her about the mirror work, and I showed her the picture of the mirror. And she said, what does it say to you? The picture, what the mirror looked like when it blew up. And I'm like, I'm not sure. And I wasn't like, I said, I just think my work was done. Like I had done enough. And she goes, when I see that picture of the frame, your mirror work is enough because you've disassembled the previous framework in which you were viewing things. Isn't that fantastic? You know, it's not just that the manifestation of the blown up mirror from the mirror work, it continues on and it ripples on from there, that we can continue to learn from people that are literally manifesting in our environment. She was a new friend that I had met at an event. The magic and the energy that is in us and around us can continue to snowball. All we need to do is to give it some time and attention in the heart space, right? A little less up in the head and a little more in the heart space. So I hope you found this video helpful. Go to my website, stoppingtosmelltheflowers.com, in case you're wondering a little bit more about how to work with me one-to-one, and about my book series, Stopping to Smell the Flowers. Take care of yourself and be careful while you're doing your mirror work. It's effective.